Let us start with the next part of the solid state, that is electrical properties of the solids. On the basis of electrical properties, solids can be divided into three categories: conductors, insulators, and semiconductors. Conductors are those solids which have conductivity between 10 raised to power 4 to 10 raised to power 7 ohm inverse meter inverse. Insulators are the solids with very low conductivities between 10 raised to power minus 20 to 10 raised to power minus 10 ohm inverse meter inverse. Semiconductors are the solids with conductivities between 10 raised to power minus 6 to 10 raised to power 4 ohm inverse meter inverse. A conductor may conduct electricity through the movement of electrons in case of metallic conductors, or through the movement of ions in case of electrolytes. Metals conduct electricity in solid state as well as in molten state. The conductivity of metals depend upon the number of valence electrons per atom. Greater the number of valence electrons, more will be the conductivity. If we talk about the conductivity in terms of band theory, we can see the atomic orbitals of atoms form molecular orbitals. This molecular orbital concept you can correlate with molecular orbital theory, which you have read in the chapter of chemical bonding in class 11th. Atomic orbital, there you have learned that combine to form molecular orbitals. Those molecular orbitals are so close in energy to each other that they form a band. In class 11th, you have studied the molecular orbital theory of two atoms. If you take a small piece of any solid, it contains lakhs and lakhs of atoms. Just imagine, in class 11th, you studied the combination of only two atoms which form molecular orbitals. If lakhs of atoms combine their atomic orbitals with combine to form molecular orbitals, so you can very well imagine that they will be so close in energy that they will form a band. If this band is partially filled or it overlaps with high energy unoccupied band, then the electrons can move very easily from one band to other. This happens in case of conductors. In case of insulators, the gap between the filled valence band and the unoccupied conduction band is very large, so that electrons cannot jump to it. That's why these have very small conductivity and they behave as insulators. If the gap between the valence and the conduction band is small, so that some electrons may jump from one band to other, they show some conductivity, then they are called semiconductors. Electrical conductivity of semiconductors increases with rise in temperature. You can see here at 0 Kelvin, no electron is there in conduction band. The gap is, however, of only 0.72 electron volt. But when the temperature is increased to 300 Kelvin, some of the electrons jump from valence to conduction band means some conductivity is shown. Such semiconductors are also called intrinsic semiconductors. Conductivity of these intrinsic semiconductors can also be increased by adding appropriate amount of impurity. This process is called doping. Such impurities introduce electronic defects in them. Here we have added electron-rich impurity. You can see the crystal of silicon or germanium. We have doped it with antimony or arsenic or bismuth. Now, the crystal was of material from group 14, whereas impurity is from group 15. The impurity atom contains 5 valence electrons, whereas the atoms in the crystals have 4 valence electrons. When antimony occupies one silicon atom, the 4 of its electrons can make bonds with silicon, but one electron, fifth electron is extra and it becomes delocalized. These delocalized electrons increase the conductivity of doped silicon. Here, the increase in conductivity is due to the negatively charged electron. That's why these are called N-type semiconductors. If the same silicon or germanium atom is doped with an atom from group 13, that may be boron, aluminium or galliums, which contains only 3 valence electrons, then the place where fourth valence electrons is missing is called an electron hole or electron vacancy. This hole can be filled by an electron from neighboring atom. But in doing so, it will create a hole at its original position. This way, it would appear as if electron hole is moving in the direction opposite to the movement of electron. If holes are created, holes are supposed to be positively charged and moving, so this type of semiconductors are called p-type semiconductors. There are various applications of N-type and p-type semiconductors. One is diode. Diode is a combination of N-type and p-type semiconductors. It is used in rectifier. You all must have studied about LED. LED is light emitting diode. Then transistors. Transistors are made by sandwiching a layer of one type of semiconductor between two layers of other type of semiconductors. NPN and PNP type of transistors are used to detect or amplify radio or audio signals. 12-16 compounds. These compounds are formed by the combination of group 12 and group 16 compounds. For example, zinc sulfide. Similarly, we have 13-15 compounds. These are formed by the combination of group 13 and group 15 compounds. Example, aluminium phosphide.